Coffee. You go get coffee from McDonald's?
And this one, and I said, I walked in McDonald's and I see this little girl.
With him?
It's 6 o'clock in the morning.
6 o'clock in the morning.
Why is this little girl in Playland
at 6 a.m.?
At 6 a.m.
with Ariel Castro.
And I'm looking around. I said, she with Ariel? So I'm like, well, I know he got older kids, so I'm thinking, well,
yeah, maybe that's his granddaughter. Yeah.
And, you know, he's a school bus driver.
Right.
He got weird hours that he worked. Okay, you know, so I blew it off. Whatever, right?
Right, because you went to go get your morning coffee before you go to work.
And then another time.
You see an Ariel Castro with this little girl in the McDonald's. You thought it was weird at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock in the morning. Why was the little girl there? The
So
second time I seen the little girl was at Seymour Park.
Oh, okay. Up here at the park. I know that park is, yeah.
Clemente.
Everybody
was out there with their kids, you know, parents, kids, kids, you know, everybody playing around, la la la. A dog comes from nowhere.
A dog?
A dog comes from nowhere, right? So everybody's, you know, scrambling, grabbing their kid. You know,
right. Doing the parent thing.
Doing the parent thing. And so this little girl is on top of the monkey bars, and she's like literally
screaming. Or afraid,
she's like
shaking
afraid,
because of that dog.
I'm turning around and like, you know, I'm like, where's your parent? And she just turned around. She's like, there's my daddy. I said, oh my God, Ariel's your dad? How's your mom?
Oh, okay. How old was she then?
4.
Okay.
3, 4.
Wow, that's crazy.
And then, you know.
So she called. She said, "There's my daddy," and he was standing.
That's my daddy.
Okay,
and
so
he was sitting at a.
And you didn't know that was his daughter. What did you think about that?
Like, who's the mom? Because I never saw him. I always thought he was a little
off.
Well, you know, a little gay.
A little gay. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
You know, he
wow.
You know, he had all these toys, but he was always a loner. He never had friends. You know? When you ride motorcycles, you want to put a.
Do you think? You know, I got a question for you today. Do you think he's dead today? Honestly.
I hope so.
You hope so. But I got to tell you, I asked his uncle here, Ceci at the store. You know what? Because I said, who went to his funeral? You know what I'm saying? And guess what Ceci told me? Nobody. Exactly. And I got to tell you something else. When somebody dies, and especially a story like that,
unless nobody.
Hold on a minute. Even when nobody
claims to.
Hold on, but it doesn't matter. You still get buried in Potter's Field, right?
Yeah.
It's still
number.
Yeah, and you should still be. It should still be advertised. And you know what? Here's the thing.
That's public record. It should be public record.
Right, but here's the thing. He wasn't, and he's not. Shouldn't have been buried in Potter's Field either, because I'm gonna tell you why. He had a name. His name was Ariel Castro. You see what I'm saying? So, but the point that I'm trying to make here is this. I found it very odd that he went into jail. And then all of a sudden, he supposedly hung himself. Have you ever been arrested yourself? You have been?
I've been in prison.
Okay. Do you think it's possible to hang yourself in prison? Yes or no?
Yes.
Really? I don't. See, I don't.
It's possible.
It is possible. Okay.
It is possible.
Okay.
But if you are already on suicide watch, it's impossible.
There you go. And he was on suicide watch. So you think it's impossible
it's impossible on suicide
because he was already on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So here
you don't have no sheets.
Right.
No shoelaces.
Nothing. So he was on suicide.
If you tie your paper suit around your neck, it's
going to tear. And
like
a piece of paper.
Like a bag.
Yeah, so he was on suicide watch. What I want to say to you is this. I met a guy, because I just recently relocated here from Arizona in January. I'm a peace activist, by the way. I actually was making peace flags here in corrupt Cleveland in 2003 and in 2004, exactly during the time period that Gina got abducted.
Wow.
So, and I got to tell you, honey, I didn't know what time it was politically in this country.